Hello everyone, and in this series I'll show you how to create a render clone. Now this is the landing page which only has this login with GitHub option, and I name this clone free hosting. You can name it anything you want. Let's log in. Once you log in, you'll be able to see your GitHub username on top, and these are the already deployed static sites and web services. Let's click on one. Let's click on this one. So this is the static site. You can see that it's deployed over S3. So static sites will be deployed over S3 bucket, and the web services will be deployed over ECS, Amazon's ECS service. And you can create a new static site or web service. Let's click on static first. So here you can add the title of your project, and these are all the repositories and the branch. Only three fields. And for the web service, there are more than three fields. It takes some time to load because it's fetching all your repositories from GitHub. So you can add title, repository, branch, and some more fields. You can also pass the env vars in this one. In terms of editing, you can't edit the title or the repository of your hosted static sites, but you can change the branch. Similarly, for the web service, you can't change the title and the repository, but rest all the details can be changed. And once you click on submit, the contents of the S3 bucket or the ECS service will be replaced with all these new contents that you add. And lastly, you can also delete all of this, and then it will make this table blank. So that's all. Now let's head over to the PPT and understand all the prerequisites. This is not a beginner level project, so if you don't have any experience with Node.js or AWS, you shouldn't be continuing with this series. So I'm assuming that you have some experience with Node.js and Amazon Web Services. In order to proceed, you need to have Node.js installed on your system and MongoDB. For MongoDB, you can make use of Atlas or Compass, your choice. Since we'll be deploying web services on AWS's ECS, we need to have Docker because we'll be creating the Docker image and then deploying it on ECS. So you can install Docker Desktop. I'll be using Docker Desktop on your system. And the next is Pulumi CLI, which you can install from this link. Lastly, you need to have an AWS account in order to proceed. You can check out the commands from this link, and that's all the prerequisites that's needed for this project. Now, this will be the flow. For the static site, we'll be fetching all the contents from the GitHub repository and then pushing it on the S3 bucket. And for the web service, we'll fetch the contents, then we'll create a Docker image of that, and then push it on the AWS ECR repository that we'll be creating. And from there, it will get hosted on ECS's Fargate service. The web service one sounds a little bit complicated, but it's not. You'll understand it once you go through the series. Both the things, both the static site and the deployment of the web service, it's pretty easy, and I'll show you that in this series.